I never said this trip was a burden. It was, but I never actually said that to her. I searched for another truth before she could read my tone and ferret out my real feelings. I would never miss your wedding. Well, duh, she agreed with triumph. This week is going to be exactly what you need to breathe for a minute, to take out that ridiculously tight knot and let your hair loose. My hand slipped to the base of my neck and smoothed over my perfect honey brown chignon. This was a week of falling behind at work and slipping in the ranks against Jerry, to say nothing of the mountain of things that would be waiting to be dealt with once I returned, since he couldn't seem to do anything without hand-holding. I had a plan to sneak away and check in with the office every morning using the Wi-Fi package the cruise line offered, but Amelia didn't need to know that. I like my French twists. They make me look professional. I could practically hear her eyes roll. At work? Yeah. Not on a boat in Nassau. I promise not to wear a French twist when we dock at Nassau. Thank you, she said kindly, as if I had offered to supply her with a stack of magazines and endless pina coladas instead of discussing my hairstyle choices. So there's something I need to talk to you about. I was going to wait until you got to Florida for this, but I feel like maybe it's better if you have the plane ride to prepare yourself. A cold, icy stone dropped to the pit of my stomach and made a home there. If she thought I needed 2 hours to prep my emotions, this couldn't be good. What is it? You know how I told you Jack wasn't going to be able to make it because of a work thing? Yes. It had been the best news I'd heard in months, and I'd immediately run to my portal to request time off work for the cruise. When Jack had potentially been in the running to attend this ridiculously small wedding party with us, I'd been tempted to tell my own sister I couldn't make it to her elopement. That was how badly I wanted to avoid her fiancé's best friend. Well, Amelia drew the word out like she was dangling a moldy carrot in front of me. Don't say it, Ames. She was quiet, and even the silence sounded unsure. You don't want to know? No. Oh, who was I kidding? The unknown was far worse than what I was imagining. It had to be. Amelia read my silence for acquiescence. Now Jack's coming. Jack Fletcher? I squeezed my eyes closed, hoping beyond reason that Amelia knew 2 Jacks. Yes, Lauren, she said flatly. The same Jack Fletcher whom I can't uninvite because he's my fiancé's best friend, and for some reason you still hate— Hey, I said in defense, bending over my bed to pull piles of clothes toward me and layer them smoothly in my suitcase. She sighed softly, and my immediate bite back died on my tongue. The hatred between Jack and me was mutual. The blind date Amelia and her fiancé had set us up on was awful for both of us. We had barely made it through the entire meal before Jack pretended to get sick and ditched me to make out with the waitress. I'll admit, that blind date wasn't his best move, she said, conceding. But I didn't want her to concede, and I didn't want to be the reason she was stressed right before her wedding. Time to pull up my big girl pants and be a mature adult. Though, to be fair, saying it wasn't Jack's best move was an understatement. No, I think his best move was when he'd accidentally called me later that night, complaining about our awful date to his roommate in a 5-minute voicemail. Or maybe it was after that, when he couldn't seem to be around me for 5 seconds at Kevin's birthday party without telling me how uptight I was. Big girl pants. That date was 2 years ago. I'm really fine with Jack being there. Amelia was silent. Was she suspicious of my motives? She knew I had every reason to hate Jack Fletcher, including the voicemail still saved to my phone that expounded on the greater reasons about why he couldn't stand me. But this was her wedding. I wasn't going to be the one to ruin it. Besides, she couldn't help it if her fiancé had terrible taste in friends. It's really